Dexter plays GemCraft FrostBorn Wrath from Games in a Bottle.
Welcome back to GemCraft FrostBorn Wrath. We've completed the entire run for GemCraft's FrostBorn Wrath story, and I thought we would do a reading of the journey notes for this poor frozen wizard as he journeyed to the Spirit Forge. Our frozen wizard starts over here in his icy prison hideout. There are other stories that were told previously to this: GemCraft Chasing Shadows, GemCraft The Forgotten Gem of Eternity. So if you want to play those games and see how they work, but this is the map of each of these and where they came from. Here we will talk about the story of this wizard here in this icy frozen hideout. I was one of the few wizards who spoke up against summoning more and more demons to use them as slaves and power sources to feed the ever-growing hunger for power of the leaders of the Spirit Forge. The Wizards' Council wanted to silence me, but I had eyes and ears in many places, and I was well prepared in advance to move before they could act. I wouldn't have a chance against their magic, powered by demons, so I fled. I went far to the freezing north as fast as I could, and I hid in an abandoned wizard tower. I didn't have much time to make myself home, though. They found me quickly and used a devastating spell to freeze all the land around me to shattering ice. They just didn't bother to face me in person and get a cold, but their spell wasn't perfect. Everything froze to death around me, everything except me. I somehow survived in a frozen but awake state, being imprisoned in ice for centuries to come. And I saw things. I saw everything as if I was there looking through a thin flake of ice. I saw them murdering my fellow wizards. I saw them slowly losing the remnants of their sanity, and I saw them summoning an archdemon, one so powerful that they couldn't control or defeat. They locked her away, but as decades passed and she got forgotten, she always found a way to break free. I saw all this, all that followed, as my wrath kept growing. But for some reason, I just thawed. Centuries passed. I feel numb, and I hardly have any magic left in me. I feel like I have to learn everything again. But I'm alive, and I had a long time to think. Now that no one remembers me, I will do just like the Forgotten. I gather strength, and I return to the Spirit Forge. From my last frozen visions, I know that the Forgotten is already on her way there, as well as a fellow wizard carrying the Gem of Eternity, the only relic of magic that can stop her. I have to be cautious. I'm weak, and monsters are everywhere. I will cast an orb of presence and explore the path ahead. There's a lonely light among the trees in the forest nearby, and it feels warm too. A warmth I haven't felt for ages. I have to cast an orb there and take a closer look. I think I found the cause of my thawing, a worm spell that got out of control. Its creator, another wizard who was possibly trying to flee and hide just as I did, was killed here. I can see traces of a fierce fight. Does the council go after rogue wizards and hunt them down now? I just saw an apparition. A spirit of a slain wizard. Many have died in the raging battles that tore up this land through the centuries. Those who were saturated with magic, mostly wizards, ended up as apparitions, wandering around aimlessly. I'm sure I will see more of them. Apparitions mean no harm, but I can end their misery and get some shadow cores by killing them. A frozen pit full of corpses. When more and more monsters and demons appeared, people didn't have time to bid farewell to their dead properly, and this pit might have seemed like the best way to stop infections and preserve the dead. As it turned out, though, the snowy pit became an ideal nest for feeding and sheltering swarmlings. Another wizard, frozen for ages in this ice-bound wizard tower, not as lucky as I was with that warmth spell. Who knows how many others are stuck in this frozen wasteland? A wizard stash. Long ago, prizes of wizards' challenges were hidden in these. I'll have to open as much as I can find in hopes of obtaining something useful. I will need all the help. Things will surely get grimmer as I approach the Spirit Forge. Wizard stashes might be hidden from plain sight. Thinking of battles as a test of endurance might reveal some of them. What kind of monstrosity is this? It looked like some kind of siege monster, probably mutated to take down city walls. I was lucky it waited frozen for a long while still after I found it. Why did it wander so far to the north? Did it awaken due to the warmth spell too? That was a specter flying towards my gems. An apparition twisted by demons. The only remnant of its wizardry is the lust for gems. It can be very dangerous. Letting it to steal my higher grade gems can mean the end of a battle. I should be on guard and juggle my gems if I need to, and focus my firepower on the specter, or hide my gems in my inventory and give it a lower grade gem to steal. Someone had the bright idea of carefully placing a jar full of gem wasps in this location to help fight the monsters. Smashing it at the right moment can turn the tide of battle, unleashing hundreds of stings on the monsters. I hope there will be more jars lying ahead. A sleeping hive, containing a myriad of swarmlings, hiding dormant, waiting for the call to battle. I should be cautious not to disturb the hive unless I want to face even more monsters. A wizard hunter. It was probably after that wizard I saw dead before at the warp spell. I heard rumors long ago about some experiments, fallen wizard spirits infused with a demonic essence to create deadly assassins to hunt down the enemies of the Spirit Forge. I'm not sure if these wizard hunters are following either orders or their hatred towards any wizard. This one seemed to be drawn towards destroying my gems and my orb. I'll have to be very cautious if I meet another one. I didn't know monster eggs exist. I thought monsters were created by wizards, but it seems they can also reproduce on their own now. Wizards have not simply lost control over monsters. This situation is much more frightening. That creature was just like an apparition but made of flesh. It seems someone might still be creating new kinds of monsters, or they evolve on their own. I wonder what else I might meet. It seems to get more and more dangerous each step I take towards the Spirit Forge. I've reached the walls of the city that stands between the Spirit Forge and me. The war-torn remains of a city, that is. Even though I saw many things while being frozen, I don't know what lies within and beyond. I will have to watch my every step if I want to get through here. I just found a ruined hideout. Some of the dead were wizards, but most of them were refugees fleeing as the war escalated. It seems these wizard hunters are just killing everyone in their way. I knew it would only be a matter of time before facing a shadow. I still can't believe I could defeat it. Shadows are powerful demons, avatars of the Forgotten, sharing her blood and flesh, created and consumed by her at will. They are legion, and yet they are one. The Forgotten surely felt when I killed that shadow. I hope I won't get her attention. I would have no chance against her. That was the Forgotten herself. I'm not ready for this. I'm not prepared to face her. She is too powerful. I'm still alive, so she must be in a hurry trying to get to the Spirit Forge, or she thinks I'm too insignificant to waste any time killing. That's probably the only thing that saved me, for now. One thing is for sure, though, she has never been this close to the Spirit Forge before. This whole town is a still frozen image of war. Death and ruins everywhere, only monsters roaming the streets, while left behind war constructs kill everything that gets near. That's where the arrogance of the Spirit Forge has pushed our world. An egg-hatching monster. A queen laying swarmling eggs. Never thought monsters like that could ever exist. Originally, monsters were constructs of wizards made using dead flesh and magic. but they began evolving. It at least explains why there are monsters everywhere. I'm still not sure if their urge to attack my orb is out of their hatred against wizards, an irresistible attraction toward sources of magic, or if they were made like this to serve as an army and mindlessly slay rogue wizards like me. I met Aspire, the towering walker of the Forgotten. In my frozen dreams, I saw her creating these abominations and how efficient they were in battle, leaping over all the obstacles and crash landing on the orbs of fellow wizards. They won thousands of battles for the Forgotten, allowing her to get dangerously close to the Spirit Forge before being captured the last time. And now, these walking towers roam all around, clearing the path for her. Will she be successful this time and take the Spirit Forge? The shield should still repel any of her attacks. An abandoned wizard's tower with locks. Its occupant must have fled in a hurry. Luckily, these improvised locks were easy to get rid of with my gem enhancements. Inside, I find some plans describing the inner workings of the Gem of Eternity. I've seen these fascinating gems of wizardry in my frozen dreams, the only known artifact that can ensnare the Forgotten. These plans write about improving the gem further. This wizard had probably been working on some actually working way to defeat the Forgotten. I take these plans and examine them later. There is no time now. The shield protecting the Spirit Forge has just collapsed. So the Forgotten has achieved what she wanted ever since her summoning to this world? Or is it just the first step in her plan? Now that the Spirit Forge is exposed, all the creatures ever tortured and used by the wizards will rise and march towards the Spirit Forge. All of them, including me. Guardians? Here? I thought all of them were supposed to guard the Tomb of the Forgotten. Guardians are powerful spirits of ancient wizards, originally brought back to life in an ethereal form to serve as vigilant keepers of secrets. I don't think there is anything to protect here, though. They might have been wandering the land without purpose. That is, or they were called back from guarding the tomb. I wouldn't be surprised after all that I have seen, both in my dreams and on my journey. All these shadows have been traveling towards the Spirit Forge, answering the call of the Forgotten. I bet I will meet more of them from now on. I was lucky they hadn't attacked me all at once. Does the Forgotten seek vengeance too, or something else? In my eyes, both the corrupted wizards and the Forgotten are disgusting ulcers to be removed from our world. Are they on the same side after all? Are any of the corrupted wizards still alive at all? So many questions, answers for which probably hiding within the Spirit Forge. A corruption obelisk, so close to the Spirit Forge. While I waited frozen, I saw the Forgotten creating such obelisks, but I'm sure she didn't get this near to the walls of the Spirit Forge. Did she get help, maybe from beyond the walls? Or is this obelisk something she later made replica of for her own agenda? Finally, I have reached the Spirit Forge. I don't know what lies beyond these walls. I expect nothing but the worst. For one, I know the Forgotten must be somewhere in there, surely working on taking over the place. Are there any wizards of the Council still alive? Are they hiding or already serving the Forgotten? I feel my magic won't work just that easily within these walls. Everything has changed. I sense madness, dark powers gathering, and a sinister silence. And I sense a fellow wizard at the opposite end of the Spirit Forge, carrying the Gem of Eternity. Thank you for joining me through that reading of the journey notes for the GemCraft FrostBorn Wrath. As you can see from those notes, the GemCraft Chasing Shadows and the Forgotten Eternity are both games that have dealt with this storyline. So if you really want the overall story, go play those games as well and kind of get the feel from the other side. There's a few twists to find. And other than that, thank you very much for joining me if you did through this playthrough. Take care. Bye-bye.
creeping through the shadows in the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows, I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a